Martha,
Yeah.
lovely to see you.
Hello, Martha.
Happy to see you all. Long time no see. Hi, Fred. Good to know that you're here too.
Martha,
Hi, everyone.
hello.
Hi,
How are
Monica.
you?
Long time no see, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Martha. Wow.
Yes, but we see your adventures, so we know what you're doing.
Getting there.
It was.
That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like you've been having fun.
It has been.
It has about Sandy.
Yeah, I just feel really sorry for Sandy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to say it straight away.
Yeah. Hi, Jeffrey. Nice to see you. Ashfin. We might get started because it's 1 minute past the hour, and there's other people who will probably join us. I'm trying to work out the best way to say this because he was a very special man. Okay.
Yes.
Let me put it this way. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 86 of Your Next Level Mastermind. The topic for today is interesting stories about previous bosses. And that brings to mind something that is very special to everyone on this call here and many people who are watching, because we had a sad loss of someone who had an incredible story to tell, truly incredible story to tell. And if anyone wishes to say anything, please do so right now. I'm referring, of course, to one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever had the opportunity and the privilege to know, Sandy Murray. He passed away this week, and it's very sad. And if you'd like to say something right now, please, it's your call.
Yes, I have to say something.
Sure.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Monica, Fred, and Patrick. I wanted to talk about this also. I met Sandy in a networking event, and he was very kind and offering to help people without charging any money. And after a while, we became friends, and he was rooting for you. He wanted you to be successful, even more than, for instance, people who are close to you, your family. He was that passionate about having you to be successful. Not only me, but other people. Maybe some of them, she came in the group also for some time. So God bless his soul. He was a beautiful human being, beautiful soul. He really wanted good for people, and he was helping lots of people to achieve things. And actually, you guys are a gift from him to me, because he introduced me to this group. And I cherish that a lot because of that. So God bless his soul.
Thank you, Ashwin.
No, Ashfin, that came through just on our hour that we had with him every week. That what you just said came through so beautifully each time. And he always joined us with a smile and an open heart, and he was quite the man.
Yes.
I loved his art too. He was so proud of his art.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
He was a giving person with his heart, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Can we just, with your permission, can we just have just a few moments of silence to think about Sandy? Do you mind?
Okay.
Please.
Just a few moments. Thank you. Thank you very much. Life is so darn fragile, right? You never know. Oh, okay. Jessica, nice to see you. Nice to see you indeed. There's a guy in this call called Patrick Kern who needs your services, so you better talk to each other. All righty. Episode number 86. Topic is interesting stories about previous bosses. Once again, our condolences to all the people around the world who Sandy Murray connected with and became such a special person to. We're all going to be thinking of him, and it's a tough call to run this session with him in mind, to be quite frank. But in another way, he gives me the strength, because as Pat said, he always joined with a smile. He always joined with an ability to make people feel good about themselves. So with that in mind, we're going to start the introductions to those people. And for those who are watching this replay, I'd like you to make sure you reach out to every single one of these people. Their links will be available underneath this video. And I say it every week, I'm going to say it again. You don't know who you don't know. And more important, you don't know who they know. So please make sure you reach out to every single one of them, irrespective of what their specialty is. Reach out, connect with them, say hello to them, get to know them, and you never know where it can take you. So with that in mind, I'd like to start the introductions before we get to the topic itself. And Pat, can we start with you, Pat Dreyer, followed by Monica?
Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Dreyer, and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm in the Grand Canyon state. And I'm in network marketing with My Daily Choice, and I help people who want to make more money, have more fun, and leave an amazing impact on other people. And in today's environment, it's so crazy out there. So many people are stuck. They're uncertain about their future. And so when I find people who want to make money, I just show them how to make money. It's something that anyone can do just by following a proven, documented system. And it's so simple, I can actually draw it out on a napkin for you. But unfortunately, most people don't participate in their own rescue. They let their ego get in the way. They overthink, they complicate everything. They have one excuse after another. It just holds them back. But if you're motivated and you're willing to unlearn what you know about making money and learn a new way, we can show you the simple steps to success. Just reach out and I'll show you all the steps to do it. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Pat. Monica Periade, followed by Martha.
Hello, everyone.
Martha.
Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Periade. I come from Romania, and I am trying to kind of conquer the world, to see the world as much as I can. I'm a transformational life coach. I focus on self-esteem as the main topic, the main thing that can help somebody create remarkable changes in their life. So I serve remarkable professional women who wants to get to their next level in their career, but they can't do that due to some self-doubt, due to fear of taking risk, or so many other reasons. I help remarkable professional women who are afraid to create the changes they want in their personal life as well. Also that they face difficulty in taking quickly healthy decisions. So everything as a base has self-esteem and due to some toxic environments and so on. In addition, I also help people overcome toxicity, toxic environments at work, as I've been there, done that, and I know how to overcome it. I know how difficult it can be. This week, I'm looking to connect, as always, no reason, but with like-minded people, or with someone who is looking for some help to create some changes, no matter what that changes may be. So I'm based in Romania at the moment. I just came back from US and I'm heading to Vietnam, hopefully soon. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica. Goodness gracious, you get around. There's no doubt about you. Okay, Martha Mock, followed by Jessica.
Hi, everyone. My name is Martha Mock. It's so lovely to see all of you again. I'm a confident coach from Super Confident Coaching. The problem I solve is imposter syndrome. I do it by coaching women to discover their authentic self, to speak up, be heard, and do it with respect. The people I help are highly driven women who are suffering from imposter syndromes to confidently show up as their authentic self. It costs $28 for their first initial consultation sessions to discover how much more satisfaction they can get from their day-to-day action. The people I wanted to connect to today is people who are arranging summits and speaking opportunities. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Martha. Excuse that. And it's good to have you back. Really good to have you back. What a lovely surprise. Jessica.
Great presentation, Martha.
Yeah. Jessica Crooks, followed by Anthony Piselli.
Morning. I hope you can hear me this morning.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I switched computers because I'm not fixing the other one. Okay, I am Jessica McCurdy Crooks from Jamaica, and I am primarily a money coach. And what that means is that I help persons to discover their relationship with money, to understand why it is that they might be earning, they're not seeing it, they can't save, they can't invest, they're just living from paycheck to paycheck. So that is the primary thing that I do. And in addition to that, I also do indexing, proofreading, and editing for writers and publishers.
Thank you, Jessica, very much indeed. Anthony, are you ready there? Santa Claus? Anthony?
Yes, I'm ready. Oh, hello, everyone. Oh, it's so good to see everyone. Oh, coming to you from my secondary place of operation here in Florida. Oh, I tell you, oh, what a wonderful, wonderful week, and I tell you, it's amazing, absolutely amazing, and especially to be here with everyone. I just can't. I look forward to this every week. Thank you, Peter. So, who do you know that would love a visit from Santa? See, what I'm trying to do is I'm coordinating visits from Santa all year round via Zoom. 15 and 30-minute Zoom sessions with Santa. Imagine that. Oh, private visits in the comfort of your own home. Oh, who do you know that has a youngster, a niece, or a nephew, or a grandchild that could use a mid-year check-in, a birthday greeting, or a special message from Santa? You know, how about that? Hey, great job this week. Sales are up. Oh, I know about sales. Oh, and deliveries. Oh, I tell you. Well, you know, I work with kids from 1 to 92. So if you would like to reach out and talk with me, and I would love to reach out and talk with you. All my information is in the chat box here or below the video, and I look so forward to talking with everyone. Oh, just keep shining, everyone. Keep shining.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Santa Claus, you've got the tough job. John Allen, you're next, following Santa Claus. Away you go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm John D. Allen of Allen Small Business Coaching. Do you know some small business entrepreneur, or maybe even yourself, that's struggling, because you can't attract all the ideal prospects you need? You're unable to convert those prospects into paying customers or clients. This is causing you short-term financial cash flow gaps while you're trying to build your long-term financial goals. What I specialize in is teaching small business owners, entrepreneurs, how that they can attract all the ideal prospects they need, how to convert those prospects into paying customers or clients so they can solve their short-term financial cash flow gaps while building their long-term financial goals, and to be able to do this over and over and over again. So it's not just a one-time deal. This week, I'm looking to talk to small business owners that may need to have just a chat to see where they are, what they could be doing different. So the information's in the chat. Please reach out. I'll be happy to talk to you. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you very much. Cash flow is king, right? There's no doubt about that. Ashwin, when you're ready.
So, hello, everybody, again. I just want to remember Sandy Mary again before I start. God bless his soul. What I do, I help small businesses to grow their income, cash flow. Specifically, if you have clients who come to your seminar or webinar and don't make appointments, I can help you to create a seminar no appointment marketing campaign where we build sequence of offers, education materials using various media to attract them to make an appointment with you. Now, to review your leads and how we can help you with that, I offer a free, no obligation, half-an-hour session. You can either call me or email me. I put my information in the chat box. And also I have a guarantee too. So you know you don't waste your time and money. If after a month you are not completely happy with our services are free until you are happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashwin. Are you ready, Jeffrey?
I am now. I had a mouthful of food. Sorry, that's why my
That's
camera.
right. Over to you, Jeff, followed by Fred Gillen.
Okay. Hello, guys. My name's Jeff Veale. I'm the business guru from downtown Manila in the Philippines. I've got a large team up here. We do digital marketing, basically worldwide to English-speaking countries all over the world. And what else can I tell you guys? We've got a course coming up, guys, in the third week of October. This is a proven course. It's an in-person course that used to cost $10,000, $9,999 to be precise. And a consultant would come and visit you once a month, and over a 12-month period, they would double your business. Well, we've taken that same course and put it online, and it's $495. It runs over 12 weeks. We teach you how to double your business, and it comes with a guarantee. Providing you do the work, we'll guarantee it works for you. Thanks very much, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeffrey. Fred, over to you.
Thanks, Peter. Hi, guys. Most of you know me. I'm Fred Gillen. I run a digital agency called More Marketing Ideas, and I'm an online marketing strategist that helps businesses organize their online marketing strategy. And whether that's optimizing your website, getting your email campaigns organized, messenger campaigns, or digital marketing campaigns. And one of the latest tools we're actually using to help people get their profile out there is a compilation book. And what I mean by that is it's a book where authors come together and each has a chapter in the book promoting their business or their life stories or whatever they want to share so they can get their message out there. Gives them the opportunity to promote themselves as a published author. And we've also got tools now that can, I won't say guarantee, but pretty well guarantee that you will get best-selling author status on Amazon. Because we play with the algorithms a bit to help people do that. So if you know anybody that wants to become a best-selling author, please get them in touch with me. We've got the second edition of the book, Best Business Builders, and that's going to be a compilation of 15 authors. So with their picture on the front cover, so that it'll be branded for them on the front cover as well. So that's me, Fred Gillen. Oh, it's $800 US to be part of it. So better mention the price up front. So that's me, Fred Gillen, More Marketing Ideas.
Okay, but for $800, you're then a published author, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Pat Kern.
Good morning, everyone here in social media land. My name is Patrick Kern, coming you from the lovely Spanish Moss Grove in Beaufort, South Carolina, and heading down south. I want to reach out to Sandy Murray and his family. I'll say a prayer for y'all. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be thinking about him during my ride. I didn't know because I'm not on Facebook quite often, as I should be on this ride. I got to pay attention to. Anyway, that being said, I'm an affiliate marketer, and I work and sell and promote the line of products for My Daily Choice, the house of brands. You can sell each brand because I'm the product of the product. I use the product all the time, and it's a great product. And if you want to know any more what I do, just message me, get a hold of me, and we'll get you up and running. And I'm looking for anybody who wants to change their life and become a free soul. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Before we get on to the topic, I've got some apologies from some of our best supporters, but for a variety of reasons, I just can't make it today. Joy Healy, who sends us sincere apologies, she'll be here next week. Yvonne Jones, she mentioned before, she can't join us for the month of October, but she'll be back starting again from November. Carol Davies, not very well at all. Penny Kennedy, Marie Nielsen, she's just landed in Asia. She was going to try and join us today, but she's going to do it next week. Tom Petty, Andrew Kavanagh, who is also sick as a dog. He's been in bed all day and he's gone back there. And Bonnie Rose has got 2 sick boys. So I've just got messages from them to pass on to you their apologies, but they'll be back with us as soon as possible. Okay, so now let's get on to the topic. And by the way, I'm completely transparent here. This wasn't my topic, okay? I didn't make it up. Wish I could say I did, because I think it'd be a cracker, right? But this came from John D. Allen. Thank you very much. He mentioned to me, why don't we do one like that? I thought, what a damn good idea. So the topic is interesting stories about previous bosses. Okay, so if you'd like to put your hands up, click the reaction screen at the bottom there, put your hands up, and I'll take you in the order that you do it. And I'm sure there will be some very interesting thoughts about it. Fred, your hand's up first. Over to you, my man.
Yeah, the first one, when I read the topic, the first one that came to mind was while I was working in corporate, I was working with a major insurance company, which has since gone bust here in Australia. And I was running the IT delivery team. And my immediate manager, he was running the developments team and our team as well. So we're writing a lot of software for the insurance industry and the public liability side of it in particular. And every year there would be a junket because the insurance company didn't have a problem spending money for anyone. So they would get all the team leaders and the bosses or managers or whatever else, and they'd go to a resort and spend a weekend there. And it was meant to be a training, get to know you weekend, but it was a booze up, right? So everybody would go there and basically get pissed. And unfortunately for my illustrious leader, my immediate manager, it didn't work out one year because he actually did get quite inebriated, and he spoke to the owner of the business and quite clearly told him what he was doing wrong in his business and what he should be doing right. And the end result was that when we all got back to the office in Melbourne on the weekend, all the locks had been changed and the guy never came back. So it's just be very careful who you talk to when you're pissed. So that's the story.
I'm just
And he was a very senior manager because he obviously had keys to the premises and whatever else. But the boss organised that while we were still at the junket, and it was actually at Port Douglas, so Peter would be aware where that is. So it was at Port Douglas while we were all up there. The locksmiths came in and changed all the locks in the building, so he couldn't get in, and then he was invited not to return.
Wow. Thanks, Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly why they've eliminated booze at most Christmas parties out here.
Yeah.
I was just thinking how close I must have sailed the wind a few times. That's all right. Santa, what about you?
Well, the last job that I had, I worked for city government, local city government in Connecticut, and I had a supervisor. He was a great guy. He was just super. I mean, he was almost like a brother to me and everything. And he it was appointed to his job by this was in 1997. He was appointed to the position of the supervisor. We were the first what they call the Citizen Service Center, which was the main line into City Hall for residents to call with concerns and complaints. So basically, it was like a complaint line at City Hall. And he was appointed by the mayor because he got to know the mayor, and he wormed his way into the position. His previous occupation was he was a reporter, and this is where I just got to know him, getting to know him, and with his lack of experience in management, I got to learn about management just from his lack of experience. And basically, the guy, I just love him to death. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. He was, he was a Golden Gloves boxer. He was a reporter. He reported on the mob. He followed them around. He did all kinds of, very, very interesting guy. And, but when it came to doing his job, he was one of those guys that I had to do 90% of his work, and then so he could get the credit for it. So I learned about management from that perspective. But you know, he was a great guy. He was a good person to have as a someone to look out for you, and I looked out for him. He looked out for me, but he was great, and you know. One of my first week there, I brought, you know, dressed up my desk a little bit. I had a little Superman character that I brought in, and everyone was saying, hey, yeah, I know about this. Yeah, you have Clark Kent as your supervisor. That's what we call him. So I had Superman and Clark Kent all in the same room. But it was very interesting. It was a wonderful experience, and that's where I learned most of my management skills, and was through I don't know how you say that, but how to put it in words. But through his inability to do it, I learned how to do it.
So if I got this right, you looked after his back, and he looked after your back, but you did all the work.
Yes. Yes, I did 90% of his job.
Right.
Keep your boss happy, and you keep your job.
Yeah.
That's right. Keep the boss happy, and you know, and when the boss's boss is the mayor, you know, you really got a lot of daggers to watch out for.
Okay. Before we get to you, Pat, I just got a message from Brenda Sheldrake apologising. Please accept her sincere apologies. She'll be here next week. She can't make it right now. So, all right, Pat, what about you? Interesting stories about previous bosses.
Well, Fred, you're going to like this. It's I call this one the party boss. Cheap scotch. He had cheap scotch and peanut M&Ms, and that's the only way but he drank it and ate it every night. But the cheaper the scotch, the easier it was for him to wake up in the morning, apparently. But at business dinners, the bill had to have a higher liquor bill than food bill to be a effective dinner, okay? And if it wasn't, we had after dinner drinks until it was fixed. And so what I learned from this guy was a kind of a hangover cure, if you will. And that is you line up 3 to 6 aspirin on the kitchen counter or the bathroom counter. And when you get up in the middle of the night, you scoop 2 or 3 of those up with a glass of water, and you down them, and then you finish the rest of them in the morning. And you can pretty much get to work okay. But I haven't used that much, but that's what he taught me. I was a great boss.
Is he your direct boss, Pat?
He was. That was back in the 80s, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he was my direct boss.
Right. Patrick, what about you?
Well, I had a lot of great tugboat captains in my lifetime. What taught me a lot of things. And the boss I just left, I'm not gonna, him and me had a hate and love relationship. I respected the man, then I did not respect the man. And it got to more and more of my ability to respect him was going out the window. So I decided just to walk away from Beckenham Fitness. I had to walk away. I think, Peter, you know, he was just getting too much. He wanted to tell me he started to micromanage me of fixing equipment, and I wasn't putting up with it no more. I couldn't do it because he didn't know what he was doing of fixing treadmills or any of the equipment. So I basically, to keep my respect for the man or disrespect for the man, I just had to leave. And now I think it's a hate. I think he got how you want to put it, he has a hair up his ass towards me right now because the way I left. That's it.
I love your expression, Pat. Thank you. John, thank you, Pat. What about you, John?
One of the former bosses I had was a vice president when I was in the security industry, working for the 4th largest physical security company in the world. This gentleman was a former staff sergeant for the RCMP. He got promoted to his level of incompetence, and he was really good at that. So this gentleman and I had somewhat of a stormy relationship. He told me what I was supposed to do. If I felt like doing it, I did. If I didn't, I did my own thing, and we'd have a discussion after. So we'd been negotiating a bunch of contracts one time, and his first name was Bill. He came out from Winnipeg. He was going to show me how to sell. So me being a nice, polite person I was, respecting him as a boss, I went through his results first. Bill, 3% raise. Well, that's pretty good. Bill, oh, 3.5, you did good on that one. And I went through 4 or 5 that he got. His average raise was 3%. So then I come over, I said, Alan, oh, here's 9%. That's a little better. Alan, you're 12%. Oh, that one's even a little better. Here's another one at 10%. Here's another one at 10%. Bill, when are you going to show me how to sell? And then we went out for supper. He was somewhat ticked at me, but he was a nice guy. Since he was in town, he wanted company for supper. So we went out for supper. So him and I did have quite an interesting relationship.
Thank you, John. I remember at university, I did economics, and I was there on a Qantas scholarship. And I was so excited because I thought, wow, I can work with Qantas, okay? And I mean, in those days, Qantas had a pretty good name for itself. I'm not sure where it is now, but in safety records and all this sort of stuff. And I was pretty proud of myself. I had a Qantas scholarship. And I thought, I pictured myself, you know, I'm going to be going to work with a brand spanking new business suit and a flash briefcase, and I'm going to be earning pots of dough and all this sort of stuff, right? All these things were going through my head. So I graduated from university and started with Qantas, and in those days the head office was in Sydney. And I walked in, and it was into the market research department. And that's where I was, and we had to take cargo loads and passenger lists and fuel costs and work out the most economical flight patterns for Qantas routes to take, okay? And in those days, I mean, Fred, you remember this, I'm sure. In those days, the computer systems we had were cards with little holes in them, okay? We used to go over to Sydney University and use a thing called Celiac computer. Does that ring any bells with you, Fred?
Yeah.
Celiac computer, and we used to put all this data in there. Long and the short was, our boss did nothing, to be quite frank. He didn't even know how to do the cards, but neither did I, but I learned, right? And we saved the company a huge amount of money by, they no longer landed in certain places anymore, and they still don't, and I can't disclose where they are. I got to sign a statement to that. But the boss got a trip around the world for the money that we saved the company. And guess what we got? We got a return trip to Brisbane, right? Which is an hour's flight from Sydney. That's what we got. And the boss didn't even say thank you. He just took off, trip around the world. 6 weeks later, came back. And I thought, bugger this, excuse the French, that'll be me. Is this what corporate life's all about? I'm out of here. So anyway, that was my experience with Qantas Airways. Who's next? Who would like to share? Come on, Martha. We haven't seen you for so long. You must have a story about a boss you busted to tell.
Not really. I've been my own boss for so long that I even forgot what my last boss is like. There was this just one kind man that I was working with him for 5 years, that when I was 13 years old, that was my first boss. And he taught me how to manage and run. And that's one of the reasons why I got quite mature for my age at that time. And he didn't know that I was only 13 years old when I actually applied for a job. The only good thing is I didn't change much. I was posting a photo that I was 11 years ago. I honestly still look the same. I'm like, thank God for that. So, but people have been calling me auntie since 16. So there you go. That's the other one of it. But yeah, other than that, it's good.
Good on you, mate. Yeah, good stuff. 13 years old.
Mm.
Wow. Okay, Jeffrey, I hate to ask you this. Have you ever worked for anyone else other than yourself?
Yeah, Peter, I left school and home at 14 and had approximately 200 jobs. I got 200 bosses to tell you about. I had some 200 jobs between 14 and 28. I was working for idiots. And then I got sick of that. I decided to work for a lunatic. So I started working for myself. But I'll give you three quick ones, and you saw the sort of guy I was. I was into the theme of Rich Dad, Poor Dad long before the book ever came out. My attitude was I was there to learn. If I could learn something, the money didn't matter. I was there to learn, like another little step up the ladder, because that was my education. I had no school education to speak of. I wanted to get a life education. So anyway, one of my jobs was I'm looking down here, was the Golden Circle Cannery in Brisbane. And it was the most horrid job you'd ever want to have in your life, guys. And what they do, it was so bad. There's probably 200 or 300 workers, and every hour a siren would go off and they move you from job A over to job C or D or E, so it won't get too boring and repetitious for you. So you might be packing pineapple tins 1 minute, next minute you're doing something else, and so it went. Well, anyway, I woke up the first week. Every time the siren went, they gave you a number, like number 9, and I had to go to station number 9. And I thought, okay, well, the guy at station number 9 doesn't know me from Adam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out the door and go and lay in the back of my car and go to sleep. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to set my alarm. I'm going to wait for the last siren, and then I'll rock up to station number 9 with my little ticket. So that worked a treat for a couple of weeks, but it was boring as shit to just lay in your car all day. You thought, what? So I got a bit braver. For the next 8 or 9 months, I went home. Watched a midday movie, had a wonderful time, and then came back in the late afternoon. So that was my Golden Circle experience. Then I moved on to the Cannon Hill abattoirs. And I was basically a labourer in the slaughter rooms and one thing or another. And I wake up early in the piece that once it's like a production line, they got to kill, say, 100 cows a day and carve them up and turn them into steaks. So I got at the start of the production line so that virtually all the cows had been killed, but there's still about 3 or 4 hours work to go. Then you had to go into these big chillers and you had to hose them out. So what I got smart, and what I did, I went down the back of the chiller and I turned the hose on to high heat, right, hot as hell. And then because the freezer's already cool, it would make a fog, right? So there'd be 8 of us in there, and these chillers are huge. There'd be 8 of us in there cleaning the chillers, and I'd sneak out the back door and go home because I've created the fog. You can't see me or find me, so I'm gone. I did that one for about 6 months without any trouble. And the last one I had not the last one, one of the ones I had the most fun with, and it was the boringest job out, and they were all alcoholics. Any of you guys got an experience with government departments back in the day? I worked for the water board, and I used to go out on these like sewerage trucks with big trucks with about 14 of us go out, and we had a foreman called Charlie, and it was so funny. He was like Phil Silvers, he took the job really literally seriously, right? And we didn't. And we had to go out to these like manholes and go down and clean out these sewage wells. And sometimes they'd pump them out. They put an airflow thing down, and like the canary in the mines, guys, they put a canary. If the canary dies, don't go down there. Well, we had, and you guys are probably familiar with it, we had litmus paper, and this white paper, we'd lower it down, and if it went brown, well, you couldn't go down because it was too dangerous. So what I did cleverly, I carried a matchbox around with me with the brown litmus paper in it. So when it was turned to send the white one down, when Charlie turned his back, I'd just send a brown one. I didn't want to work that day. I'd send a brown one down. and which that meant 5 hours of having to blast air into this thing, and we'd all go to the pub or something, right? So it was fun and games. And one of the things I did to Charlie one time was a classic. We went down between two buildings, and it was a reasonably tight fit, maybe a foot each side. So Charlie's driven down about half a kilometre between these two buildings, and we did the job. And now on his way out, he finds in the middle, he can't believe it, in the middle, there is a water pipe, a tap. There's a tap, and then a puddle of water. And what I'd done while everyone was mucking around, I went and got a piece of pipe with a tap on it, banged it into the ground so it looked like an actual tap. Then to make it more authentic, I got a bucket of water and splashed it on the bottom, on the base, so it looked like this tap was dripping. So Charlie comes out trying to take us home. He comes out between the two buildings. He gets halfway up, and there's this tap. And you can see, and we're laughing. We're all, there's 14 of us. We're all on the joke. And he's scratching his head, thinking, "That's impossible. I drove down here. I mean, they must have put a tap in while I was down here working." So Charlie gets out to investigate. That he rocks the tap. Of course, it comes out in his hand. And he goes, "All right, who's a smart ass?" And they always know it was me, because I was the guy always pulling the pranks. So that's the sort of thing I did to my bosses, guys. That was just to amuse myself. And one last one, I worked for a builder, and to keep me amused, I used to say to him, he'd have me digging holes. I always say to him, "Hey, boss, how wide, how deep, how big do you want the hole?" Because I mean, I'm going to dig if it's a 6 foot hole, I'll dig you a bloody 6 foot hole, but I'm not going to dig 7. I'm too lazy. So anyway, he'd say to me, "Just dig." He'd give me a hard time. So one day, to keep me happy, he had about 4 big pallets of bricks. And he said, "I want you to move those bricks from A over to B." And he knew that would take me probably by hand. It would take me a good half day, if not a whole day, right? Anyway, off he goes. And you wouldn't believe my luck. 10 minutes later, a guy, it is down a side street somewhere, a building site, a guy drives past in a forklift. And I go, "Hey, mate, hey, come here, mate. Hey, come here." And he goes, I said, "Mate, I'll give you $1 or whatever it was." I said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you take those 4 pallets and take it from A over to B," right? So basically, I moved the pallets. What was supposed to be a full day job, I moved it in about 10 minutes. So that's the fun I had with bosses, guys. And now you know why I work for myself. And it's more fun when you work for yourself. You get all the ups and downs that go with it. That's my stories, guys.
I also got a good idea why you had 200 jobs.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I was incorrigible.
He had many of them at the exact same time because he was never at them, but he still got paid.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh man, I can tell you some of the lurks I got up to.
Monica, what about you? You're on.
Well,
Yeah.
I
You don't have to compete against Jeff Veale. Just be you.
what about me? Which one of the bosses I want to mention? One, I had toxic experiences and I had more fortunate experiences, but back in the days, I would say. But one thing I learned is how you treat it. It's not necessarily what you deserve. So I used to have a boss that was in a very high rank position under so much stress. And he got into this habit to just pass it on to me. And every day, almost every day, at the end of the day, he will look at me with this sorry eyes and he will say, "Well, Monica, sorry for today. I hope you will show up to work tomorrow again." So that made me continue to work for him. So anyway, too many stories, and I don't see the use of going back in time.
Okay. Thanks, Monica.
Thank you.
Yogesh, nice to see you. What about you?
Here's the weird thing. I've never worked for anyone, so I'm not really sure what story to share.
Take some from me. I work for so many.
What's it like working for you, Yogesh?
What's it like working for me? I've mostly been a one-man show, so.
But that didn't answer my question. What's it like working for you?
It's fun. It's always changing.
And he doesn't argue with himself, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to get much more out of you, are we, Yogesh? Do me a favor. Don't forget to let us know when you got some deals available in China. Okay? Because I think there's some people here who would be very interested.
Well, Peter, if I can, just one last story. There was an ongoing joke with my wife and I about my boss, about my supervisor. Yet he knew I was dissatisfied because I'm one of those kind of people who, you know, I'm used to getting promoted like after 6 months of doing whatever it is, because I work really hard at what I do. And I was in the same position for 21 years.
Wow.
And it was very, very frustrating, very frustrating. But what he would do every year, so I talked with him at one point. I said, you know what, you need an assistant, and that assistant needs a pay raise so you make it more affordable for me to be there and help him and just basically do what I'm doing, but do it with like a title or whatever, instead of just, low man on a totem pole. And so he said, okay, yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is good. So I gave him a proposal, wrote it up for him and everything else. And he says, you know what, this sounds good. We'll work on this. We'll get you that raise. We'll get you that promotion.
You want to go out?
And nothing happened. And then it became an annual thing. Every April. Hey, Anthony. Hey, guess what? I'm going to get you that promotion. Don't worry. We'll get you that raise and you'll be doing great. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Oh, so I'd call up Janet and I'd be like, guess what? I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to get a raise. Okay. And nothing happened. Next year. Hey, Anthony, I'm going to get you that raise. Don't worry. I'm going to get you that promotion. We're going to get it for you. After about 15 years, every April, I'm going to get you that promotion. I'm going to get you that raise. It became, so I would call up Janet. Guess what? Frank said, I'm going to get a promotion. And then we would just bust out laughing just so hard. Just anything, I guess it was just to keep me motivated or whatever, to keep me on board up until the day I resigned. And he kept expecting me to rescind my resignation until I left. But it was just an ongoing thing. I'm sorry?
Did you ever get the promotion?
No.
After 21 years? My God.
After 21, never. No, because it's union. It was a unionized shop, and you can't move along unless the union says you can, and there has to be a position that's open for you. And he could have created the position. He could have talked to the people to create the position, but he just, he didn't really want me to move on. I guess it was frustrating. It was very frustrating. But I love him to death. He was a great guy, and but it was just the ongoing joke of, hey, I'm going to get a promotion. Hey, yeah.
Before we finish,
yes.
My first boss in the insurance industry was probably the best boss I ever had, to be quite frank. He was really good because he gave me so much rope I could hang myself every morning if I wanted to, right? All I had to do was justify why I was doing it. And fortunately, what I did worked. But he actually gave me the opportunity to be accountable to myself rather than to the company. And when you think about that, that's pretty smart leadership, pretty smart management. And he said
Absolutely.
to me, Peter, if you don't want to go to these meetings and learn all about the rate books and the premiums, that's fine. That's fine. But the day that you tell a client or a potential customer the wrong rate, you're dead. Okay? I said, okay, fine. Okay. But I loved him as a boss, because he gave me the space to grow and to make the mistakes. And at the same time, he wasn't there to back me up. He was there to teach me. And when I made a mistake, he really did kick me in the butt. Okay. But at the same time, he did it from a point of view of he had belief in me. And he knew I was going to make mistakes. but he let me do what I wanted to do. And I think that's pretty rare in a boss, especially with someone new. So I'll never
Yeah.
I think
get that experience.
it's interesting to say that, Peter, because like I spoke about like the insurance company, and I learned a lot in the commercial space from my stint at the insurance company. And you may know it, like I've worked for HIH, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Ray Williams was the boss there, and he used to run that. Like, I give you an example: women were not allowed to wear skirts, or sorry, were not allowed to wear long trousers. They had to wear skirts. Like that was the era he was from. So he was one of these, but he looked after everyone. Like everybody got treated as an equal, and it was one of the best learning experiences I ever had.
He was very well known and respected in the industry, Fred.
Yeah. So definitely, like it's, and you know, I think we've all been mentored by bosses in one way or another.
Yeah. Anyone last one before we call it quits? Not you, Yogesh.
Monica.
Monica, you're waving. Over to you.
Yeah, I work for so many companies, small to medium and multinational corporates, and that is not to brag about it. So I can say that I work with people in a very high, very good positions, but I very rarely, very seldom find leaders, people who are meant to be in that position and that state of power. And I think that's what we want to remember people after we get out of the working for someone else or once we retire. People that lead us, people that inspire us to be better and to be better with the person next to us. It's about togetherness. Unfortunately, my last experiences wasn't that nice, but talking bad about somebody doesn't make you look nice as well. So with that have in mind, I hope the people that are working right now, they have, instead of bosses, they have leaders to work with.
Well said, Monica.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your contributions, everybody. Martha, really lovely to see you again. It's been a long time, eh? Okay. Same time next week. I don't know what the topic is. We'll work it out now in the meantime. But I just want to say, first of all, thank you for your expertise. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your support. And more important than anything else, thank you for your friendship. I really appreciate it. Okay. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Okay. Cheers for now.
Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
All my love.
Keep shining. Keep shining, everyone.
Thank you.